Miracles are here.
Good morning. Welcome to Faith in the Morning. Something good is going to happen to you today, so expect miracles. Thank you for joining me today. Faith in the Morning is to help you start today with faith and encouragement. And we're going to get started with our Faith in the Morning confession. One of the reasons it's so important to say what God says, that's what we do in our Faith in the Morning confession, is because it renews your mind, it builds your faith, it releases your faith, and it reminds you what God wants to do in your life. You've heard so much negative things. It's time to remind yourself about what God says about you. Are you ready to say it with me? You'll find it in the description on social media or in the show notes on the podcast notes. Ready? Let's go. Say, I am the salt of the earth. I am the light of the world. Jesus said it, so I believe it. I'm a carrier of the glory of God. Today, I will experience the extreme goodness of God. Today, I make myself available for God to show his goodness to others through me. Today, I am increasing in influence. Today, I will see the goodness of God in my life. Today, something good is going to happen to me, so I expect miracles. Go back with me to Hebrews chapter 11, and this is your reminder to make sure you read today's newsletter. Our newsletter arrives in your inbox every single morning. It's our daily newsletter to help you start your day with faith and encouragement. So if you haven't read it, make sure you read it today. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you'll see the link in the show notes, and you'll be able to subscribe to our newsletter. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, it says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. It's very simple. And I have my kids say this every night when we're praying. We go over Hebrews 11:6 together. And so why it's important to live by faith? Because faith makes God happy. Living by faith pleases God. When we live by trust in him, trust in his word, trust in his promises, trust in his leading, it brings joy to our Father's heart. That he says something and we believe it. He loves that. Think about the Gospels. Remember when the person came to Jesus and he says, just speak a word and I know it's going to come to pass. And Jesus commented on his faith. What was so big about his faith? He believed that once he received the word from God, it is done. That brings joy and happiness to the heart of our Father. And I know you're listening to this podcast right now. I know you're streaming it right now and you want God to be pleased with your life. One of the ways you bring joy and honor to God is by trusting his word and living accordingly, because you believe that God will always show up and show out for you. You're not going to let disappointments get you down. You're not going to let naysayers get you down. You're not going to let anything else stop you. But you say, you know what? I know I'm going to win. I know God's going to turn it around. I know God's going to provide. I know God's going to come through. I know God's going to help. I know God's going to heal. I know God's going to restore. I trust him. I trust his word. I know his character, and I know he loves me. When we operate from that place of faith, it brings joy to our Father's heart. So let's all commit today to live in such a way that it makes God happy. Let's bring joy to his heart by living by faith. We're out of time today. Make sure you read today's newsletter. Something good is going to happen to you. Expect miracles. And I'll see you next time on Faith in the Morning. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, you can subscribe today. Love you so much. God bless.